I'm so excited for today's video because building a property portfolio with confidence and working towards financial freedom and choices in your future is what we're all about. Now, in today's video, we're going to talk about big picture, how to create a vision for your future, how to go from where you are right now to where you want to be longer term, as well as the simplest possible strategy that we can come up with to achieve $100,000 per year of passive income in your future.
Cool. So to kick things off and to build that property portfolio with confidence, with that financial freedom in the future in mind, the first thing you need is a vision for your future. How did you and Lisa go about creating that vision for your future?
I definitely didn't get this right at the start. My vision for my future was to be fully financially free by 30, which I didn't achieve because I really had no plan on how to get there. It was just like pixie dust and an idea. But for me now, I kind of sit down, and I know this is a bit like big picture-y, but I kind of look at, well, what would my dream life look like? For me personally, when I shut my eyes and do that, or I write it down on a piece of paper with Lisa, it's really about spending time with the people that I care about, doing meaningful work, helping others, having an amazing time with my kids and being there while they grow up, chilling out with friends, traveling, volunteering, like with contributing to the local charity now as well. That's the big picture stuff, and that's what's pulling me towards the future. But in reality, like I suppose my financial vision for the future is to own my entire home, not one room. My vision for the future is to own my own home. My vision for my future is to own my own home outright, as well as a small number of investment properties that give me somewhere between $150 and $200 a week in rent. That'd be sick. Be able to get like a loaf of bread, as well as a cup of.
So there's a cup of tea.
Just like to get myself a cup of tea, when I'm on the pension, as well as a cup of. She's gone. Stay out there so that I can say this right. As well as a couple of investment properties completely outright, giving me somewhere between about $150,000 and $200,000 per year of passive income in the future.
So once you and Lisa got your big picture, that vision for the future, I guess the next step is figuring out where are you right now and where do you see yourself in 15 years and sort of filling those gaps, right?
So the first step is to get super honest with yourself and realistically look at where you are right now. Now, for me, financially, that normally means looking at my income at the time, what I can save per week. Lisa and I have also gone through that process before of kind of looking at the fixed expenses in our lives, the variable expenses in our lives, and looking at which of those we could reduce, look at those costs and honestly go, well, realistically, this is where I am. And there's only really three things we're ever doing in that phase as an investor, which is saving money, which kind of sucks and it's super boring, but it is also incredible if you just enjoy the journey. There is that small window of buying properties, and then there's that window of paying off debt. So I think getting that habit of paying yourself forward, particularly in the honesty stage where you're looking at exactly where you're right now, can massively speed up that journey to freedom.
Awesome. And once you figure out where you are right now, I guess you've got to have a really open and honest conversation with yourself and your partner around what's holding you back. And you've got the why, you've got the vision. So what is holding you back from getting there and living the life you truly want to lead?
I really like that. Like as a super logical, probably OCT mofo, for me, a lot of what's always held me back has been the financial side, like my income not allowing me to borrow money, not having enough savings or equity to be able to do something, or like just being completely overloaded with information and feeling a little bit overwhelmed. But, we've talked to thousands and thousands of investors. What are some of the other things that you've noticed that hold people back from achieving their goals in this space?
I definitely think a lot of it comes down to just inherent fear. And that fear can come from the information overload, the fear of, I guess, not knowing where to buy or what to buy. I think fear also comes from not having the right mentors and things, because if you don't have people to lean on in this space, you've got no friends or family that have done it before, you don't want to have those conversations with friends or family, you really need a good team of advisors, a good team of mentors to discuss this type of stuff with figure out what they've done to then put a plan in place of what you can do.
I fully agree. And I've found that from talking to so many people, plus also as investors ourselves, doing so much over the last 10 years, it's sort of given me confidence as my knowledge has improved, as my team of advisors has improved, as I've found mentors and coaches that can support me on my journey and be there with me, and people that I can share different ideas with and become friends with that can help me on my journey. Those little gaps and those little holes have improved to the point where now it's just very, very, very clear. And that's the next thing that I wanted to discuss. So you've got your vision, you know where you are right now, you're slowly working through the things that are holding you back. But now it's a case of, well, that question you asked, how do we get from where we are right now to our goal in 15 years?
There's obviously so many ways you can get from where you are right now to where you want to be, but we've come up with what we think is one of the most simple ways that you can actually execute on that. And it's called our 2 property to financial freedom strategy. So Ben, do you want to talk us through what that looks like and how people can achieve it?
Yeah, so the 2 properties, the financial freedom strategy, thanks Ryan from over there on Property, who we created this strategy years and years ago together, is something that I wish I had have found before I went and bought a shitload of properties with no real idea or plan for what I was doing. Now, in this strategy, there's 3 stages. The first step is when you buy the properties that will make you financially free in the future, which we call accumulation. The second phase is paying off the debt on those properties slowly over a 15-year period, which we call consolidation. And the third phase, which I'm not there right now, I don't think you are either, is financial freedom and living a life with the choice to do whatever you want, whenever you want to do it, with the passive income stream coming through for life.
So the first stage is accumulation. Talk us through what those 2 properties are going to look like.
So let's say that we go out there to a quality market, a capital city, and we want to buy a house close to the city or close to the beach. Now, for that first property, we should be aiming for like a nice 500 to 800 square meter block of land in a quiet street and in a quality suburb. And for that first property, let's say we go out there and spend $600,000 and we're lucky enough to get about $550 per week in rent. Now, for some of you, that might be the only step that you take for the next 5 or 10 years. For other people that we've worked with, they've bought 5 properties in a 12-month period. So depending on your financial situation and your risk profile and your knowledge, your skills and your team, it will depend on how quickly you execute. Now, once you've done that, we go out there and then we buy another house, but this one's a little bit different. So we spend about $700,000 this time around. We get a home with a granny flat that's already been constructed. In Sydney and Melbourne, that would look more like a duplex. In Queensland, it would be a house with a granny flat. And that property, the house and the granny flat together under one roof line, would rent for about $850 per week. Now, that's as hard as it is. It's 2 properties to financial freedom for a reason. Now, if we look at the $600K home and the $700,000 house and granny flat, we're sitting on about $1.3 million worth of property today. And if we look at the rent, $550 a week in rent plus $850 a week in rent, we're sitting on $1,400 a week times 50 weeks a year is about $70,000 per year.
Sounds pretty simple, right? So that's step 1 done. We'll cut back to step 2, but let's go hypothetical. And where will you be in 15 years, which is that step 3, financial freedom, by executing this 2 property strategy?
So based on some numbers, and we've got no idea what's going to happen in the future. This is a where could we be type idea. But let's say that we hold the 2 houses worth $1.3 million now for the next 15 years, and they grow by just below 5% per annum for the next 15 years. Your $1.3 million today will be worth $2.6 million in 15 years' time. And so, yeah, that would be nice. All things going well. And your $70,000 per year of rent, if you hold those 2 houses for the next 15 years and the rent goes up by just 2.5% per annum, your rent in 15 years' time would be $101,000 per year. So our vision is based on this strategy of buying the 2 houses that you end up with 2 incredible properties owned outright, which puts you in an incredible position, and now you're a millionaire, as well as $100,000 per year. Now, obviously, you've got your management, you've got your rates, you've got your water, and you've got your other costs associated with holding. So it's not $100,000 in the hand. And obviously, things have been inflated over the next 15 years too, but it is an incredible starting point. And this is why the 2 property strategy is so important. If you want to go further than that, like I do, I'd like a couple $100,000 per year of income, then buy a couple of more properties. If you're happy to just have 50K and you want to take a super low risk position, then just do one. But what is important about this is creating a life of choices in the future so that you can spend the time with the people you care about, doing the things that you enjoy and really helping, pull the next generation of people up by becoming that mentor, by becoming that coach, by helping your kids, by using your current skill set that you've got to currently go to work and make money for, doing something that you may or may not love versus not requiring money. So chasing passion projects and helping everybody out from doing that sort of stuff.
Now I've seen how you can do it in step one and what it's going to do for you in 15 years if you see this through. How can we expedite that process, I guess? What does step two actually look like?
So in the paying off the debt phase, there's 5 simple ideas that I think we can follow as homeowners or investors looking to pay off debt over a period of time. Now, for some people, you might be balling out and you can pay it off in the next 10 years. For other people, it might take you 20 or 25 years to do this. But what I've learned, especially having young kids, is it's not a sprint. It's most important about setting up the properties that will make you free so that you've got financial peace today, and then you can just chip away at the debt slowly over time while you absolutely love your life and do the things that bring value to your life. So for those of you who are seriously thinking about buying a property in the next 3 to 12 months, Crystal and I would love to offer you a one-on-one strategy session. Just jump over to our website, www.pumpedonproperty.com, click that free strategy session button, and then we can talk about where you are right now, where you'd like to be longer term. We can share some of the ideas that we've got from buying over $450 million worth of property together over the last 7 years. And then you can take that information and go and absolutely smash it on your own, or potentially become one of the extremely small number of clients that we take on each month. But either way, we wish you all the best on this journey. It's been a whole lot of fun to be on this journey with you, and I'm just super excited about our futures. I'm so grateful, even though it has been stressful at different parts of our journey, that we decided to get into investing, that we learnt these things, that we built the right team around us to help us do it, and for the future that we're now going to have because of all of the activity we've done over the last 10 years.
Looking forward to it.
Woo! That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Getting cool, bro. Yeah.
Oh, sweaty. So sweaty. Oh, that's good.
That's so nice, eh?